Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. So today in this video we will be discussing about keys, the concept of keys in data table or data relations. Okay, so we have super key, we have candidate key, we have primary key, surrogate key, and we have also secondary or alternate key, simple key, and composite key. So these are the type of keys that are defined on a relation or on any table. We will be looking in details of each different kind of keys that is defined above. So suppose this is the table, and in this tables the attributes that we already know is ID, name, department name, and salary. So what is super key here? To understand the super key, let's see this table. This table have roll number, first name, last name, date of birth, passport, Aadhaar, department. If you look carefully, then super key is that attribute, the set of attributes that can define each row or each tuples in a relation uniquely. I am again repeating the line. What is super key? Super key of R if values of K are sufficient to identify a unique tuple of each possible relation. Why we are saying that each possible relation? Because a relation can have a different kind of instance. Because when we query from the whole relation, we can query for different kind of requirement, and by applying different kind of logical uh, constraint. So this the concept of key should be applicable for all instances of the relation R. That's why we say that a set of tuples, that is, let's suppose K, will be said a super key of relation if values of K are sufficient to identify a unique tuple of each possible relation R. Means, suppose uh, in this case, ID and ID name are both super keys of instructor table. Okay, so here we have a instructor table. So here we have instructor table, and if you see the attribute, the ID and name, these two attributes can uniquely define whole row, all tuples in relation. Means that the value of ID and names cannot be more than one times in a tuple. If you see this tuples, then you will find that any pair of ID name are not been repeated in the table. So 2 to 2 Einstein is not been repeated any times. So this can be said as super keys, means any set of keys from the relation R that can uniquely define the whole tuples in R at any instance is called super key. Then now come concept of candidate key. What is candidate key? So candidate key is nothing but candidate key is nothing but out of super key. Suppose here we have ID and ID name. Both are super keys, mean both a set of attributes can uniquely define all the tuples in a table. Now from this, if the super key is minimal, means without having name also, if ID can define what here we refer to minimal, means that minimal means that if super keys can also define all rows of the relation uniquely without having any other attributes, then it will be called a super key here. And then it will call a candidate key. Here ID is a candidate key for key instructor, For the relation instructor, id is candidate key because it is minimal, because not minimal not in the sense that here we have two, here we have taken one. No, if there will be case that super key is id and name. Okay, suppose there is a case that this is suppose there is a case that uh, this is the super key of a relation, but it can also be candidate key if this was not the super key. If id have not been the super key in the relation, then id and name can be candidate key because it is minimal. Why it is minimal? Because without a name or without id, neither id can define whole tuples of relation uniquely, or nor name can define whole tuples of relation uniquely. So both needed together to define all tuples of relation uniquely, so that in this case we said that this is minimal, and from this can become a candidate key of relation. Okay, so this is the concept of candidate key. Now, a relation can have more than one candidate key, or more than one super key, more than one candidate key also. And out of all candidate key means out of all minimal super key, based on some of our parameters, that our parameters is very respective of each kind of relation that we have, we select our primary key, right? Now, what is the concept of surrogate key here? Surrogate key is that suppose a relation does not have any, suppose a relation does not have any uh, unique identifier of relation, neither it have any super key, neither it have, and means key, the concept of key comes only when the set of attributes can uniquely define any all rows, all tuples of a relation. And suppose a relation does not have any key, then we generate a synthetic key or a surrogate key. The surrogate key we have to generate because we need to define each row uniquely, each tuple uniquely in relation. For that we generate surrogate key, and that surrogate key is not related, actually related to the data or the entirety of information that we are storing, but just for our understanding, just for our reference, we use super surrogate key or synthetic key. So where we have mentioned that the surrogate key is not derived from the application data, unlike a natural or business key, which is derived from the application data. Right? Okay. Now, so this are the example of super key, candidate key, and primary key. Now, secondary and alternate key. What is the secondary and alternate key? As I had said earlier, that a relation, a table can have more than one candidate key, and the candidate key which have not chosen as primary key called as secondary key or alternate key in relation. Simple key consists of a single attribute. So whenever you heard the name of key, okay, so observe carefully that whenever you heard the name of key in a table, it means that the set of attributes that it have is able to uniquely define all the tuples of relation. That's why it's named as key. Any kind of key, either it is simple key, alternate key, candidate key, super key, or composite key also. If it is key, then it's mean that directly saying that it can uniquely define all tuples of relation. Now we also have composite key. Composite key, when one attributes cannot uniquely define all the tuples of relation, then we say that more than one attributes needed to define each rows uniquely in relation. So this is called as composite key. Okay. So today we learned about the keys uh, of tables. So above was discussion just about only one table, like we have a table here, and we can apply all our learnings on these tables also. So see, table have the attributes called role, first name, last name, date of birth, passport, Aadhaar, and department. So if you have to choose what is the super key, then super key is a set of attributes that can uniquely determine each rows. How we say that these attributes can uniquely determine each rows or each tuples means the value of a value of those attributes across the tuples should not be repeated. Okay, so if you say the roll number, then if you can see that roll number is not repeating in across the tuples. So roll number is a key. Okay, first name Lalit, Jatin, Smriti, Dipti, Ramdin, this is also a key. Last name Dubey, Chopra, Mongra, Datta, means, so this is also a key. Date of birth, if you see, so in this scenario there are so many keys. Passport cannot be key. One thing, as we go much detail about learning about the data and relation, so there are some attribute like password. So first of all, to attributes on keys is that the value of keys cannot be null. Okay, value of keys cannot be null because null value means we do not have information about that particular attributes for the particular uh, case or observation. So how we can determine that is this actually uniquely determining rows or not. So we do not consider uh, attributes with having null values as key. But here this is thing is that as Aadhaar is the unique identifier. So as this is the what is happening is that Aadhaar, as we all know that for across the country, each Aadhaar ID holder, Aadhaar card holder have unique Aadhaar number. So this can also be key. Here we have only one example which says that this is not a key. Yeah, this is also not a key, right? Because we have null values here. So this is not also a key. By the way, passport also have the unique number also, but as it can have null values because some student may have passport, some student does not have passport. So this is not something that is required for all the student like Aadhaar number. Every citizen have Aadhaar number, but every citizen does not have passport. So this is not as because of null value it is excluded from the key. Department, yes, department, we can see that if computers and computer is repeating, so this cannot be uniquely determine the tuples of relation. How means, for example, if you say that I want the tuples where the department value is computer, so if we say like that, then how we can decide we want which row, because we have two tuples in which the value of attribute department is computer. So by this we cannot uniquely determine uh, tuples of relation, so we exclude it from the our key list. But as we have already said, there are two ways in which we can define key. Either key can be simple key, consist of single attributes, single attribute, single attribute, single attribute, single attribute, or it can composite key, consist more than one attribute. So if Aadhaar, okay, so let's first see that this is also super key, this is super key, super key, all are super key. So okay, one second, uh, one second. So those are, if you see here, then so this is not a super key, and this is not also a super key. Remaining all are super key, and all are minimal, means without roll, because they have only single value. So all are minimal also, so they are candidate key also. Out of this candidate key we have to select a primary key. So we can select a primary key out of candidate key, and based on some our, so let's say that role, because we just have the limited number of tuples in this table. So but we know that name can be repeating for many people's, many students. Last name can also be repeating, date of birth can also be repeating, but passport will not repeating, Aadhaar number will not be repeating, and roll number will also not be repeating. So automatically in general case also these are already a key. Here we have excluded passport because we know that value of passports can be null, because this is the uh, university database, this is the in college or school. So we cannot say, we cannot enforce that every student should have passport. So this is these are the candidate keys, these are the candidate keys. And we do not have any composite key, but we can create a composite key uh, as of combining these two attributes. As we know that this is also a candidate key, so this key is able to define each row uniquely. So combining these two can also will make no effect. So combining these two also define each row uniquely, right? What happens is that whenever you say that we want a row where Aadhaar number is this, and where Aadhaar number is this, so just we can have a indexing and directly we can get the result of this tuple. So one thing we have to keep in mind that, by the way, here we are considering passport as of its null value. Also, we are considering it for key or composite key, because Aadhaar here is a primary key or a candidate key, and it is able to define each row uniquely. If Aadhaar if the attribute is not able to define all rows, all tuples of relation uniquely, so and for in that case, if you have to make a composite key to define each tuples uniquely, then uh, both of the composite key or all the set of composite key, their value should not be null, because null value cannot be compared, because null is equal to null. Null means we do not know what is actual value. So this should always be keep in mind before understanding the relation. Okay, so this was about one actual table, right? This the thing is about one actual table. Now we will move to more than one table. More than one table is that when we have more than one table, like we here we have more than one table. Okay, so we will understand this also in the next lecture, next video. So when we have more than one table, so we will also have the foreign key. So these things will be more understandable when we understand this schema. Okay, so for today, so we understand about the keys, concept of keys, primary keys, candidate keys, super keys, secondary key, composite key, and simple key. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.